In this figure, ABCD is a parallelogram and you have to find the values of x, y and z. So this angle D is equal to 100 degrees. Now we know that in a parallelogram the opposite angles are equal. Therefore angle B, that is x actually, is equal to angle D is equal to 100 degrees. From here x is equal to 100 degrees. Now if x is equal to 100 degrees, it means that if you look at this line, these two lines are parallel. This is the transversal, right? It's something like this. So if this is B, this is A, this is D, this is C. So two parallel lines, a transversal line, right? And we know that this angle and this angle will be corresponding angles, and we know that the corresponding angles are equal, right? Since corresponding angles are equal, so we have found from here that x is equal to 100 degrees, is equal to 100 degrees. Therefore this angle will also be 100 degrees. That is, this is y. So from the property of the two parallel lines and the transversal, these two angles are actually the corresponding angles, and the corresponding angles are equal. Therefore from the property of corresponding angles, we can say that x is equal to y is equal to 100 degrees. So if y is equal to 100 degrees, if this is 100 degrees, now can you see that this angle, this whole angle is actually what is a linear pair. Y plus z is equal to 180 degrees. It's forming a linear pair. Now since it's forming a linear pair, we know the value of y, that is 100 degrees. So 100 degrees plus z is equal to 180 degrees. From here you get z is equal to 180 degrees minus 100 degrees, that is 80 degrees. Right? So x is 100, y is 100 and z is 80 degrees. There is another way to calculate the value of y and z. So if you don't want to use this method, that is the property of the two parallel lines with its transversal, that is the property of corresponding angles, what you can see here, what you can see is that this is 100 degrees. Now we have found that x is also 100 degrees. X is also 100 degrees. So the sum of the internal angles of a parallelogram is equal to what? 360 degrees. So angle A plus angle B, that is 100 degrees, plus Z plus this 100 degrees is equal to what? 360 degrees. From here angle A plus Z is equal to 360 degrees minus 200 degrees, 100 degrees plus 100 degrees. From here you get angle A plus Z is equal to 160 degrees. Now since the opposite angles are equal, therefore angle A will also be equal to Z only. So this becomes Z plus Z is equal to 160 degrees, and from here you can calculate Z comes as 80 degrees. So this Z is equal to 80 degrees is same to this one, and since we have the value of Z now, so this angle is again what? A linear pair. So Z plus Y is equal to 180 degrees, and we know the value of Z, that is 80 degrees. So Y is equal to 180 degrees minus 80 degrees. This gives you Y is equal to 100 degrees. It's exactly the same to this one. So you can see that there are more than one ways to solve any problem, right? ABCD is a parallelogram and you have to find the value of XYZ again. Now this is 70 degrees and we know that in a parallelogram the opposite angles are always equal. So Y will be equal to 70 degrees, right? Now Y is equal to 70 degrees and we know that in a parallelogram the opposite angles are equal, so X will be equal to what? Z only. X is equal to Z only. This we know. Now X plus Y plus Z plus 70 degrees is equal to what? 360 degrees. The sum of the internal angles of a parallelogram is equal to 360 degrees. Let's assume that we call this Z as again X only, right? We call this Z as X because X is equal to Z. So X plus X means what? 2X plus what's Y? Y is again 70 degrees. So 70 plus 70 is 140 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. From here you get 2X is equal to 360 degrees minus 140 degrees is what? 220 degrees. And from here you get X is equal to 110 degrees. So if X is equal to 110 degrees, and from here we can see that X is equal to Z, so Z will also be equal to 110 degrees. So X is 110, Z is 110, and Y is 70 degrees. ABCD is a parallelogram and you have to find the value of X, Y, and Z. Okay, so if you look at this parallelogram ABCD, here we can see that the diagonals are intersecting at a right angle. This is 90 degree. If this is 90 degree, that is, let's say the point of intersection is O. This point is, let's say it's O. So you can see that angle DOC is what? Is 90 degrees, because this mark tells you that this is actually 90 degrees. Now if you look at the diagonals, that is BD and AC, you can clearly see that this angle and this angle, these are, that is X1 and this 90 degree, these are actually what? Vertically opposite angles. These two angles will be vertically opposite angles, and vertically opposite angles are always equal. So from the property of vertically opposite angles, we can say that X will be equal to angle DOC, that is 90 degrees. So X is 90 degrees. So if X is 90 degrees, now if you look at this triangle AOB, then in triangle AOB, X is what? 90 degrees. So X plus Y plus 30 degrees will be equal to what? 180 degrees. And from here you would know the value of X, that is 90 degrees. So this becomes Y plus 90 plus 30 is 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And if you solve it, you get Y is equal to 60 degrees. So now we have the value of X and we have the value of Y, that is 90 and 60. Now if you look at this side, that is this AB side, and this opposite side, that is CD, these two are parallel sides because opposite sides are parallel, and then this diagonal will act as a transversal line, and therefore this angle Y will be equal to this angle Z. Why? Because we have two parallel lines. This diagonal will act as a transversal line, therefore Y and Z are the alternate interior angles, and we know that alternate interior angles are of equal measure. So Y is equal to Z is equal to 60 degrees. So we have the value of values of X, Y, and Z. In this parallelogram, that is ABCD, again you have to find the value of X, Y, and Z. In this triangle, you can see that you have Y and X, two unknown angles, and here you have only one unknown angle, that is Z. So In a parallelogram, the opposite angles are equal. Therefore, this y will be equal to this 112 degrees because vertically opposite angles are equal. Now, if this is 112 degrees, so this is 112 degrees. Now, look at this triangle ADB. In triangle ADB, you have 40 degrees plus y plus x as is equal to 180 degrees, and this y is what? 112 degrees. So 40 degrees plus 112 degrees, and then plus x is equal to 180 degrees. From here you get 112 plus 40 is 152 degrees. So x is equal to 180 degrees minus 152 degrees. From here you get x is equal to, this becomes 28 degrees. So x comes as 28 degrees, y you have 112 degrees. The remaining one is z. Now if you look at this parallel line, that is AB, and the opposite parallel side, that is CD, then this will be the transversal of these two parallel lines, and therefore this angle x and this angle z will be alternate interior angles. Therefore we can say that since alternate interior angles are equal, x is equal to z is equal to what? 28 degrees. ABCD is a parallelogram, and again you have to find the value of x, y and z. Now in this problem you can see that this diagonal BD divides this parallelogram into two triangles. Here you have x, y and z. Look at this angle. This is 70 degrees. So if I suppose that, okay, let's do it like this. Angle DCB plus angle BC, let's take a point L here. Let's say this is a point L. Angle BCL is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because they form a linear pair. Now angle DCB will be what? Angle DCB will be equal to 180 degrees minus BCL is what? 70 degrees. So you get angle DCB as 110 degrees. So if this is 110 degrees, so tell me what will be the value of x? You will see that the opposite angles are since equal, therefore x is equal to 110 degrees. If x is equal to 110 degrees, so tell me what will be this angle? This angle will be what? So in this triangle, in triangle ADB, you have 40 degrees plus x is what? 110 degrees, and let's say that this is angle ABD plus angle ABD is equal to what? Is equal to 180 degrees. From here you get angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. You get 30 degrees. So this angle is 30 degrees, right? This angle is what? 30 degrees. Now if this angle is 30 degrees, can you look at these two parallel sides, that is this parallel side and this parallel side? This one, it's transversal, therefore this angle will be equal to this angle Z. So Z is equal to what? 30 degrees. Z is equal to this 30 degrees. Okay, so we have the value of x and z. Now you can easily find the value of y. So in triangle BCD, z, that is 30 degrees, plus y plus 110 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And from here you get y is equal to 180 degrees minus 140 degrees, that is 40 degrees. So we have the value of x, we have the value of y, we have the value of z.